Howdy folks, I'm going to do a quick video on just loading a cap and ball revolver. I've already got two chambers. So first you need powder, using 20 grains of homemade loose grain black powder. So first you want your gun on half cock, which mine already is. And then after I put the first bullet down, I leave the loading lever in the chamber. So I'm pouring the powder in the next chamber next to the loading lever. Got some homemade lubed wads. You can buy these as well. Just put that over the chamber. And then I put my round ball. Just lift this up part way, slide it underneath, and press it home. Like I said, I just leave that loading lever right in the chamber. Your lubed wad. Get your ball, rotate it under. Paper cartridges are a lot quicker, but sometimes you don't have time to make them or you just don't feel like it. There's nothing wrong with loading this way. If I was using commercial powder or black powder substitute like Pioneer powder or something, I'd be doing 15 grains and just pushing this in, shaking it, filling up my spout and dumping that in. That's a lot quicker. But with this homemade black powder that's loose grained, you want a little more in there so you get some compression because it's not pre-compressed. So dumping it in there. When you just leave that loading lever in there, your cylinder's not moving on you, and then you don't have this flopping around. You're not constantly latching it to get it out of your way. When you leave it in the last chamber, it's not in the way, and it keeps the cylinder in place so you can get the next round in easy. I've seen so many videos of this thing flopping around and people are holding it up here and then it's falling down and getting where it's not supposed to be. So just thought I'd make a video specifically about that tip. The caps I'm using homemade percussion caps. These are made with a 22LR reloader percussion cap maker. And you can't use a capper with these. So sometimes I've used a dowel to push them on further, but with these homemade caps, when you use the dowel, it usually kind of mushrooms them out and then they fall off. So I just take my thumbnail, go right in the middle. Can't get that where you can see it and where I'm still safe, not pointing it at myself, but so I just get my thumbnail and press that down on there. Be a booger to get on those nipples sometime. If you can find commercial caps, those are a lot easier than these. But I've got some CCI number 11s. They're a little bit big for these nipples, but they work good. A lot easier to get on, especially if you use a capper. But these homemade caps keep me shooting, so I like them. Heard some people taking the cylinder out to cap it. To me, that is the most unsafe thing. So if you drop it, granted, it's not too likely, but if you drop it and it hits a rock or something and hits a cap and it goes off, that could hurt or kill somebody. So I would never cap off the cylinder unless you've got a like a Colt Patterson where you have to. I wouldn't ever do that. Got it on a safety notch between chambers. We'll shoot it. Oops. Apparently one of my caps fell off, or I missed a nipple. Guess would be it fell off. It's another thing you got to watch for, that your caps are still on in between shots, especially with these. Nothing beats black powder, the real black powder. You don't get all those sparks with the substitutes. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, if you don't have one of these and you've been thinking about it, I can highly recommend an 1851 Navy by Pieta, but you get what you want and what your research tells you to get. So anyway, fun to shoot, fun to load, and that's the basics. Thanks for watching.